In 2013, I was offered a 3-month Tuesday night residency at Perch in downtown Los Angeles. Over 7 years later, that band was still playing every Tuesday night. This is the band that you will hear on my latest album, To Be With You.
It's such a joy to be with you. You make me smile, make me feel like...
When I started this gig, I hadn't really done that much featured singing, but I always loved trumpet players who sang, like Louis Armstrong and Chet Baker and Jack Sheldon. So I leaned into this new facet of my musicianship with the intent of making it part of my persona, and it's really taken on a life of its own.
But when you have your smile, it's such a joy to be with you.
Over those 7 years, I put together a book of hundreds of songs, jazz standards and originals, and the band played this stuff every week, so many times that they made the material very personal to them. This is why it sounds like a band and not just some guys who play together every once in a while.
And I'm thinking of you.
I've got Steve Cotter on guitar, Chris Colangelo on bass, and Kendall Kay on drums. I picked these guys not only because they're world-class musicians, but because they're great friends of mine. The title track, To Be With You, was our closing song every week, and it kind of became the band's theme song. I had written it as a poem for my daughter. It features multiple Grammy nominee John Beasley on Fender Rhodes.
Yeah, to be with you. Yeah, to be with you.
My song Who's Bob is a hard-driving blues shuffle that features Scott Healy on Hammond Digital B3. Scott's also a Grammy nominee and was the longtime keyboardist on the Conan O'Brien Show.
Well, who's Bob? Is that the guy that you met last night? Well, who's Bob? Is that the guy that treats you oh so right?
I wrote Jane's Domain about 30 years ago, and it's one of my favorite tunes that I've written. And I'm always trying to find new ways to reinvent this instrumental feature. In 2004, I stayed at this cardiologist's house in Dallas, Texas for a week. He was hosting me while I did some gigs in the area. And he's a semi-pro trumpet player, and he has quite an extensive collection of vintage trumpets. His 12-year-old daughter at the time also played trumpet, and while I was there during that week, I gave them some trumpet lessons. And when I left as a thank you, I scribbled out this tune, Molly and Vern, for them. I've been playing it ever since. This version features Scott Healy on Hammond Digital B3 and Keith Fidmont on tenor saxophone. Speaking of Keith Fidmont, he plays a ridiculous solo on my version of You Don't Know What Love Is. He had me in tears during this recording session.
With sleepless eyes, you just don't know.
The second song on the album, I Could Fall in Love with Her, is actually the song that got me the gig at Perch in downtown LA. I was hanging out with my friend Nick Rosen, and I didn't know at the time that he was booking Perch, but I just wanted to have somebody hear the song, so I sang it to him, and he goes, "That sounds like a Cole Porter tune. You know what? I might have a gig for you."
Each time I see her eyes, her hair, her
The rest of the songs on the album are arrangements that I'd written over the time that we were playing at Perch of standards that I liked.
Caresses.
I was able to raise the funds to produce a recording session of the band, and in August of 2018 we went in for 2 days and laid down all the basic tracks at Dennis Moody's studio near downtown LA.
Old friend.
I spent 2019 working on the vocals with my producer and buddy from Oingo Boingo, former members, Brendan McKeon. I put the finishing touches on the album with the guest artists in early 2020 and then sent it off to Jimmy Branley to do the mixing and mastering.
Friends, good as gold friends, pick you up when you are blue. My friends, do or die friends.
So what you're hearing is over 2 years of diligent work perfecting the sound of this recording and the culmination of that journey that started at Perch in 2013.
Yes, to be with you.
I'm Brian Swartz, and I sincerely hope you enjoy my album, To Be With You, featuring my fantastic quartet.
To be with you. Yes, be with you.